You're welcome back. This is Newsfile, it's the most authoritative news analysis platform. Here on Newsfile, we put Ghana first. We're going to begin with a preliminary matter regarding the Russian sex video scandal and what the state is seeking to do. And I'm going to take you through some slides that we have for you briefly about that, sex scandal and the efforts of the state. We want to ask and answer the question if the victims will get justice, and also if there are any lessons to be learned from what is going on. So shortly I project the slides on this matter and I get my guests to make their comments. So that is the young man who has been misbehaving and has been found, and that is his passport that the government has decided to disclose so that we all see him clearly. Because in Kenya, there's someone else, they are saying that we are mistaking that person for this particular young man. And so now we know his identity very clearly, and he has to be pursued and brought to justice. But how far can we go with it? The Communications Minister, Sam George, and Namomo Latte, held a high-level meeting with the Russian ambassador to Ghana. And the preliminary investigations by Ghana's cybersecurity and law enforcement agencies also indicate that the suspect allegedly recorded the private encounters without consent for publication and subsequently monetized the content through online platforms. Authorities have initiated steps to trace digital and financial evidence linked to the case. The matter is not only of morality or private relationship, but a clear criminal offense under Section 67 of the Cybersecurity Act 2020, which prohibits non-consensual recording and dissemination of intimate images, sextortion. Given the cross-border nature of the case, government has activated diplomatic and international law enforcement cooperation, including engagement with Interpol and relevant security agencies, and hoping that they can bring him here. The Russian ambassador also acknowledged receipt of the formal brief and confirmed that the information would be transmitted to authorities in Moscow. He noted that while there is no extradition treaty between Ghana and Russia, the alleged conduct would also be considered criminal under Russian law, and assured Ghana of continued diplomatic cooperation. As we are told, now the state is also preparing through the Cybersecurity Authority to present a docket through the police service and Attorney General for prosecution in absentia in our courts, that if it happens that we cannot bring him to the country. That's what they are talking about, and that they are hoping to do as soon as possible. Okay, right. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has also been holding meetings and talking about this because he summoned the Russian ambassador over the, explicit content. The ambassador, spoke about it, and also suggested initially that they didn't really know who this gentleman is. And so the processes are ongoing now. So let's see how we get some justice. So we'll take some preliminary comments on this and then move on from there. My guest this morning, Professor Kwesi Ening, is security analyst. Abid Sani is security analyst. Hajia Gloria Amenu is national women's organizer, United Party, United Plus. Inus Afseni is former MP, Tamale Central, and former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. He was in charge of roads as well. He's a lawyer. And Isaac Boama Nyako is a lawyer, he's MP, a FIA and member, Finance, Environment, Science and Technology, and House Committees of Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsfile.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Right. I think it's meet to begin on this note with the woman. What did you hear? How have you processed it? And do you think the state is doing enough?
Okay, good morning to everybody. Ramadan Mubarak to my fellow Muslims, and may Allah accept our Ramadan. Yeah. This issue, I was asleep when I had a call from way back China. In Canada. A friend in Canada called me, Hajia, have you seen what is going on? I said, wow. And I went online to check. In fact, we as Ghanaians have not been patriotic enough. Why am I saying this? We have so many women on social media. We have the Christian Council, we have the Muslim Council. And the first question I keep asking is, who are those sharing the videos? We are all from family backgrounds. And before, if you see the nakedness of a woman, you even prompt the person to dress up. What happened? We should take a bold step to demand TikTok to withdraw all the videos and anything that has to do with this. Come together as women to voice out. Those ladies are victims, and they are going through so many emotional stress. Ministry of Gender should at least give them psychological support. I saw a video of one lady whose husband divorced her, and I was hearing rumors about one who also thinks wants to take her own life. Let's come together. We can protect TikTok. We can request that they withdraw all the videos from social media. And when it comes to the cybersecurity of Ghana, we have to step up. The world is now revolving, and then IT is growing day by day. Ghana has to bring up an app that will protect us. If you are going to Dubai, before entering Dubai, you have to download an app that is solely for Dubai. China blocked WhatsApp. They are using their own app. It is also another form of jobs, creating of jobs for individuals. Let's create an app that if you are coming to Ghana, you have to download that app and use it. It traces your movements. If we request TikTok to withdraw that those videos as a nation, they would have no other choice than to comply. If we demonstrate as women of Ghana, because it's not only me, Hajia Gloria, that is on social media, but the name Ghanaian women. The lesson to be learned when it comes to us, the women, is that we should appreciate who we are. We should believe in ourselves. You are beautiful wherever you are. I remember this song from Becca that's saying, Ghanaian women are so precious. African women. The African woman. We should believe in ourselves. Don't wait for somebody to come and happy yourself. Find time for yourself. And we should leave this mentality that all white people are rich. Any white man that comes to the country, no matter his status, we think the person is rich. The mindset of the individual Ghanaian is that I'm waiting for a rich man to come and marry me. You can be rich yourself before getting married. It's not a crime. And we parents also have so much responsibilities to do as well. Because from your young age, from childhood, you can hear some mothers screaming at their children. Meanwhile, you are the one who gave birth to that child. So we put some kind of mentality
they lose their confidence
in our children, which loses the confidence of our ladies. Even in the community, somebody has a scar and they tease the person. Somebody has a bow leg and they tame that person, they tag that person with it. So if some man somewhere, nice looking, just says you are beautiful, they start running over to the person just because of the word beautiful. But you are beautiful no matter how you are.
Right.
Then again, let's just forget about this whole thing and just come back to the fact that there are no jobs for the women. There is lack of jobs. If a lady is a teacher and is taking as low as 600 cedis, 1,000, 1,500, even the things that sanitary pads, are even expensive. So in a month, how many can the person buy? So we should look at these petty things and focus on them. Let's embrace these ladies who were in those videos rather than tagging them or stigmatizing them.
Okay, let's hear from Yunus of Seni, but you made a mention something up there that I think, I doubt there is anybody under, Ghana's pay system taking 600 Ghana cedis. Yes.
Private schools.
Yeah, maybe some of them, a few of them in a bit of remote places.
Even in Accra.
In the city?
Yes.
How can anybody survive on 600?
Yes, and some take as low as 450. You can find out.
Oh, gee.
Private schools, especially Montessori and these home cares.
That would be a different discussion. Yes.
So, to be honest with you, when I saw the videos, even yesterday, I was a bunch of emotions.
And here you're talking about even the videos that don't show any sexual acts.
The videos of the man just loitering about Accra Mall and picking on women at random and exploiting.
The next time you see him with them in his room.
A bunch of emotions. I said, what has become of us? What do we live for? What has become of our values? And so I said, how did we come to where we are? And I subsequently saw a video of a woman saying that the man was even welcomed to her house by the family. I said, Samson, growing up where we grew up, even if you send somebody looking like you but not speaking your language, the first thing the parents will ask you is, where did you find this person?
You meet him.
Who is he? And then you find the family entertaining, accommodating, even allowing their daughter to sleep with an unknown man, giving them a room. I said, well, maybe the values have changed. Maybe we do not know who we are. Because the risk that these ladies expose themselves to is unimaginable. Have you read Jeffrey Epstein's files?
Everybody is falling. Even princes and kings are falling.
And then there will be victims, we can never account for them. Because they were strangled and buried. Can you imagine? But I like what Nasira has said. We should look at them as victims. Victims of a system that failed to protect them.
A system that failed to protect them?
Because
Which system is that?
This man came through the border.
Yes.
He was preying on innocent Ghanaians.
No, coming through the border, how does that go
Preying
to
on
do with a
innocent
system
Ghanaians.
failure?
So he came, so we know that he's in Ghana. So he was praying, and then the state is everywhere. But unfortunately, the state was not at Accra Mall.
No, it's not on your passport that you are a sexual predator.
No, what I'm saying is that, if you are a black man standing in Élysée a park or palace and preying on white men in the streets of London, I tell you that you'll be arrested. Very first day you will get away. The second day you'll be arrested. People will be there, the state will be there.
Just by standing at the mall, inviting a woman and taking them to your home.
Home.
What crime is that?
It's
That's no crime anywhere in the world.
We want to know why you are doing that. Dutiful state will want to know why you are doing that.
In fact, not complain.
In fact, even in some jurisdictions,
If the
They didn't
woman
complain.
they didn't complain.
they didn't complain.
Yes.
But I'm saying that
It's the videos that have been put out that
the
have
presence
triggered
of the state.
outrage.
You know, we are a free country, but the invidious presence of the state must be manifest to protect all of us.
I don't see how the state can take any blame here.
I'm not saying the state. Well, why do we pay them? Why do we pay the intelligence agencies? That they should sleep until there's a problem? That's what you think? So if a terrorist was at Accra Mall recruiting people to go and fight in Burkina Faso, you mean we wouldn't have known that until
Now I get your angle.
Yeah, so you must be interested in what is happening. I mean, this man is not it's not a black man, it's a white man. He's there preying on women. And then you say, oh, no, we don't. The state should not come in at all. This is one of the failures of state. This is one of the failures. I mean, our security agencies must be up and doing.
You're suggesting that this is how easy a terrorist can
do
come
anything around and recruit the people. That's why, so after processing it, I thought that, I think the women deserve my sympathy. And I empathize with them. Because it appears to me that they were let down.
There are those who blame them for being so easily convinced.
I blame them too. I blame them because of the overexposure to the risk, the level of risk that is unimaginable. I blame them for what you use in your take, moral bankruptcy. I blame them for that. I blame them for failing to know who they are. They are somebody, they are people. And she's also made a point about it, about our parents insulting us in ways that deplete, reduce, wither away our confidence that we can say. But in the same video, you find 2 or 3 people say that, no, we're not going. Okay? So you see that, yes, it appears to me that probably it's a social experiment gone awry. I mean, anybody could be doing that experiment. What do we live for as Ghanaians? What do a woman live for? How easy is it to prey on Ghanaian women? What moves them to follow a white man they have never known to his home?
Are you hopeful the state will be able to bring some justice to the victims?
So at the state level, in terms of the implementation of our laws, the state is responding. The state is not concerned with the morality of the issue. The state clearly makes a distinction.
She spoke about counseling. I understand they are doing that. They are seeking to do that for them,
do that because,
for the victims.
Because even prostitutes do not engage in that act publicly, do they? And so they should do that. I mean, sex is inherently a private matter. And then this private affair has now been all over the media, the internet. So they should do that. They should do that. And that's, I mean, in conclusion, I think that it's an offense to share a video of a person who has not given his consent to be recorded in the first place.
By the Cybersecurity Act, the minimum is 10 years, the maximum is about 25 years.
So the problem is that, yes, so the problem is that this Russian or whatever he is not in the jurisdiction. Criminal acts, you know.
But at least Ghana has done something that helps the world by putting his image out, putting all his details out. If other countries where he has done this, we understand in Nigeria and elsewhere.
In Kenya.
Kenya. Yes.
It might be a different person.
If the same thing had happened there, perhaps, I don't know what happened, but we may have taken a cue. Those who were, answering his calls, I suppose most of them are on social media and they may have seen and be careful.
So I agree with you. So what we have done, we have been proactive to extend in warning other countries that there's this predator out there and his target is women. He doesn't discriminate, married or unmarried. He just goes.
He may not even be granted access entry into those countries.
Yes. So what we have done is good. But again, and he does that with impunity.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? With some level of impunity.
Oh, goodness.
One doesn't even understand his motives. Was he doing that for fun? Was he doing that for money? Because I hear he has an Instagram account that you have to pay to view. So the exploitation was real. Okay? Both in terms of exploiting them as human beings and commercializing that activity. It's totally unacceptable.
Interesting. So, you in Parliament, how do you feel about this? And what do you think you can do about it, Isaac?
Thank you very much, Samson. Good morning once again to our cherished viewers.
and to the good people of Ifia. You know, I have a huge Muslim community and Zungu as well. So let me wish them Ramadan Kareem.
Yeah.
As they go into this moment of fasting and prayers. I pray that God will receive their prayers in this season. Samson, taking a critical listening to Nafisa, right? Nasira.
Yeah.
Nasira, and then my senior counsel. Two things come strongly at me. The first is the values of our country, you know. So this is not the first time we've seen people come into our jurisdiction, take advantage of our women. It's been happening, even whether they are Ghanaians or non-Ghanaians. We have our own citizens who also do similar things to young people and take advantage of them because of their economic capacity, as well as their weaknesses. So Nasira spoke to the economic situation and vulnerabilities of our women, where men or people with some economic strength may take advantage of them and then do the things that we see. But importantly, if you consider where the man has come from and then the things he did over a period of time, I want to share with my colleagues' view that the state had gone to sleep. You see, our intelligence gathering in this country has not been on top of issues over quite some time now. And it's very worrying that in such an exposed area like the mall is not a corner somewhere in a village where you expect such things to happen and can only be exposed through the media like we've seen. But when you have an open public space, and then this gentleman has been doing this for a while, and even the people that have seen him do that, how were they responding to such things? Did they even know that when you see someone behaving funnily, you have a medium to report to the nearest security person?
Did they see it as sexual harassment in the first place to report? I think that's a bigger question.
So it talks about our consciousness and awareness of some of these things when we come across them.
We take so much for granted.
Yeah, exactly my point.
To relate so much wrong.
Yeah, so if you travel out of the jurisdiction and you walk around the malls, you hardly find these things happen because you have a sense that there is security all around. You feel the presence of security, whether overtly or what have you. So there's always the issue that if I don't take care, the state will come after me. But in this country, people have that laxity. People have that freedom to think that our security is asleep. We only become reactive rather than being proactive to some of these things. So from parliamentary point of view, I think, yes, we passed the Cybersecurity Act to confront some of these issues. And as you said, the sanctions are very, very high and punitive enough. Unfortunately, the person is not in the jurisdiction for us to prosecute. But be that as it may, I think the diplomatic channels that have been triggered by the state is very welcome. The fact that they have summoned the ambassador to Russia to come and speak to the issues is very, very important. Engaging the Russian government, whether the Russian constitution allows for extradition or what have you, I think that is for the Russian, because they said it's also a crime in Russia. And you know, on international law, they can decide to prosecute the gentleman, even in their jurisdiction, for the offenses that he has committed here in Ghana. But the broader conversation I'm very interested in is, one, the security architecture for our country. We pay so much into national security. We pay so much into intelligence gathering. And so the security should take a cue. We should strengthen our internal security. We should also do a lot of education. You know, for Ghanaians, we ourselves, you know, a lot of things we see go wrong and we find it very reluctant to report. You know, I believe that if this thing is being played now and you go out there to do some investigations, people would have told you that, oh, I saw him do this. Maybe one or two people might have even confronted him to free some of these ladies that he was trying to accost. But
how did that information get?
Free a lady who is not complaining about anything, who is willingly,
what we see,
joining. Follow me, like he says, follow me.
And they follow.
They follow.
Samson, what we see is what we are speaking to. There may also be certain angles that we are not privy to. Like,
at least we are not privy to any angle of coercion.
No, so
we are following his narrative. All of us are presently discussing his narrative. Why? It is he who has released those videos.
That's right.
He has released what he wants us to see.
Exactly.
So he's controlling the narrative.
And those ladies, no one has so far complained that there was any form of coercion.
No.
Those, for example, there's a lady who gave out her number, and she said he was just disturbing him, so she just wanted to ward him off. And actually, that number was a number, her Ghana number. She lives abroad, and she wasn't using that number, so she decided to give him that number. She's in trouble now, and people are talking about some of them, beginning to think suicidal, among others. Some losing their marriages.
Yes.
So I don't think the concern is about whether he had coerced people or forced them into those actions. What I'm trying to put across is there may be, that is not available. I'm only speculating that there could be instances where some other potential victims had freed themselves of this invitation. And whatever it is, the point is that as a people, we need to continue to engage and educate, particularly the girl child.
All right.
So with this happening, how do we bring this up into our educational system, into our public information system, so that these...
Let's hear what Abid will say about this. Adib, what you will say about this, particularly from your background as a security person. We seem to agree that we all are a bit nonchalant, we are not bothered, not concerned. The things we should take serious, we don't. There are ladies who don't even see sexual harassment when there is a lot of it. Even in their offices, they're harassed all the time, but they don't see it like that. And like, Inusa said, we tolerate and we accommodate so much that we don't have to accommodate. Look at the invitations we are seeing, how he went about even the invitations. There is one that we are shown about, I think it's the apartment or hotel where he was. Then he approaches a woman there. The woman brought him a towel. Then starts to talk to this woman, follows the woman to the front office, then lures her back to his place, asking him about, I think, how to open the safe or microwave, something like that. And the next thing is they are getting to kiss. She becomes vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, good morning. Good morning to our viewers. And it's the first Saturday of the holy month of Ramadan. So, Ramadan Kareem to all Muslims. I've always indicated that security is a shared responsibility. We cannot rely on the state hook, line, and sinker to ensure security if the people don't participate in that process. That is why education is key. What if he was a serial killer? He would have been in business, okay? But on the other hand, you don't blame the ladies. Samson, in the past, I have criticized persons deemed to have perpetrated acts of immorality. But as I grow, as I listen to wisdom, as I get wiser, I have realized that nobody is 100%. Anybody could have fallen victim to what has happened. So this gives me the opportunity to appeal to Ghanaians to stop sharing the videos. And at this point, the ladies need psychological help. And I'm also looking at the feasibility. Let's say I'm a security operative assigned to the Accra Mall to keep an...
There's a police station there.
There's absolutely.
There are CCTVs all over there.
All over.
Somebody is asking if these are all just for the optics.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like I indicated, I'm looking at the feasibility as a security operative. How possible is it for me to approach every man talking to a woman at a public place? Especially when I see a man and a woman standing, then the woman is giving him a 360. Obviously, I might think they know each other already. So it becomes
But what's the purpose of the
extremely
CCTVs
difficult.
for a man who is done that regularly at the same
You
place?
see the repeated
You
acts.
see, that is also a major problem because CCTVs are not meant to just catch them. CCTVs are supposed to be monitored 24/7
Right.
to establish patterns. In fact, in China, there are CCTV cameras which is even able to tell when you are breaking the law. For example, dropping rubbish where you're not supposed to do so, okay? But it is work in progress. But we need Ghanaians as much as possible to understand the dangers associated with such acts and to take the necessary precaution. And the unfortunate thing is, there are a lot more videos we might not have seen. So let us not think that, oh, Ghanaian women are easy to find. No, perhaps there's a lot more women he has approached and they refuse to cooperate with him, okay?
Yeah.
And as a criminal researcher, I mean, when I look at issues of this nature, I look at it from the academic perspective. Is there a correlation between what has happened, between the rich and the so-called poor? Because we have seen a lady with a luxury car saying no. We have seen some ladies, you know, who
That lady too had
extreme
actually
interest.
come for the holidays from the US, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, and she said, "Why are you asking for my number? I don't know you anywhere.
Exactly.
What my
You
number
know,
for?"
so education, you see, so we need to look at it from the broader picture, okay? Fine, there's a security component, there's a safety component, there's an education component, okay? And there is a human security, jobs for young women component to it, okay? So it is something that should be looked at holistically. Indeed, like we have all agreed.
But there's an
Samson.
important question. A couple of people have asked me to ask you guys. Could the hotel he stayed in have played any role? How is it possible that a hotel will be so unconcerned about a foreigner bringing in so many Ghanaian girls without suspecting anything? I think when we see something, it behooves on all of us to say something.
Absolutely.
The hotel could have reported his activities to the police for some monitoring. Hotels in Ghana need some security education and training.
Yeah.
There's no denying that fact, okay? The receptionist, and I've also realized, based on the videos I have seen, that it is more like an Airbnb short-let stay kind of thing. Sometimes they do have receptionists, sometimes they don't, okay? So we are not able to tell at this point. But education is extremely key. And we've all agreed, he has broken a number of laws. Prominent is the Cybersecurity Act 1038. Government has done a lot, I mean, so far.
Do you think that in any serious country, he would have stayed in one place and would have taken at least 3 women to the place without any alert, without any concern being raised?
Well, it depends on the location, okay? Like I indicated, there are some apartments that have receptionists. And if they are well trained...
I'm not talking about Ghana.
But
Yes, I've met you in airports outside of this country. So you have an idea what may happen elsewhere. Do you think this will happen anywhere else?
well, it depends. In some places it might happen, in other places it will not happen. Okay, it depends on the type of surveillance architecture we have running in the system. Okay, but like I indicated, this should not be left to the state alone, even though it is the responsibility of the state to ensure the safety of its citizens. That is why some steps have already been taken, including the release of the passport page. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as a matter of fact, has summoned the Russian ambassador. And the Russian embassy has even issued a statement in that regard. The embassy of Russian Federation in the Republic of Ghana has taken note of the reports in Ghanaian media on the alleged involvement of a supposedly Russian citizen engaged in sexual activities with some Ghanaian women and recorded and circulated those acts without consent. And I've heard a number of commentary on this, whether we are able to summon an ambassador when the perpetrator is not a diplomat, but an ordinary Russian citizen.
But the Foreign Affairs Minister did.
Yes, yes, and it is the right thing to do, okay, because we have conventions supporting it, okay. For example, if you look at the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, okay, Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister can summon the ambassador based on the actions of their citizen. Yeah. And the summoning basically is to convey concerns about what has happened, also to seek clarification, to request cooperation, and in some cases issue a diplomatic protest, okay? And we do also know that there's no extradition treaty between Ghana and Russia. The Extradition Act of 1960.
Or between Russia and any other country for that matter. Or perhaps just a few countries.
Just a few countries. I mean, Ghana has extradition treaties with the US, UK, and some other countries, especially in West Africa, okay? So it is the right thing for the Foreign Affairs Minister to have done. Now the question is, what is the way forward, okay? Going forward, we are seriously looking at the possibility of issuing a red alert, Interpol red alert.
That's right.
Okay. Engagement is also ongoing to get the cooperation.
The benefit of that is that it will restrict his movement. Yeah. Wherever he finds himself, you'll not be able to move from one country to the next.
Absolutely.
That's what the red alert will do for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can also seek the cooperation of Russia. Even though there's no extradition treaty, based on the principle of reciprocity, okay, we can get them to cooperate with us.
The ambassador has hinted at that,
yes,
that because it's also a crime in their country, they would definitely want to cooperate.
Or even trial him in absentia. So there are options that is being closely looked at going forward. But to sum it up, I think Ghanaians need to realize that they have to take their personal
except the route of trial and absentia is not that simple as we all seem to say it. That because he's not around, you just go to court and you try somebody in absentia. It doesn't happen that way. But let's try it and see what effect.
We are exploring all.
This was supposed to be for your preliminary comment, but I can see there's so much interest on the subject. And Hajia wants to say something again quickly in some 30 seconds.
Yes, so in 30 seconds, I wanted to say the fact that there are already some foreigners in this country who use some hotels and video these, our women, and put it on certain apps. So this is the man who put it out there, and it was just on social media, TikTok. But there are other apps, and if you go and you watch, you even pay to watch. And it's our
But that's what he's also doing.
Yes.
So what we have seen is the one that is allowed on some of these social media pages.
Is our responsibility.
The really nude activities are not allowed. So that one is what he monetizes privately.
Yes. So it's our responsibility as Ghanaians. Even security people at hotels and others, we are always stressing on the fact that Ghana police is your friend.
Right.
If you see something fishy, just alert the authorities.
Right. So it's about someone seeing something and saying something.
Yeah.
But someone seeing something and liking the something and following the something, how do we deal with that situation? Yes. Well, Hajia made a big call, and her call is that for all of you who are sharing these videos, what's in it for you? I mean, what's going on in your mind? Why are you sharing it? And some of you that are shaming the women involved, can you think beyond that? Okay? And, okay. Well, remember that it is not only the guy who took the videos and shared who is liable for the offense of disclosure of intimate, images without consent.
Yeah.
You, the one who is also circulating, you are equally guilty. And when you are put before the court, you don't face a lesser sentence. You face the same. The potential of going to jail for about 10 to 25 years. So please advise yourself and let's help our sisters who find themselves in this unfortunate situation. She says the state should also look at TikTok and all the social media, completely taking down these images for these women because they are going through a traumatizing time. This is Newsfile. We will be right back.